today, what I thought that we'd talk about is basically showing up for ourselves. So how do we show up for ourselves? How do we show up? Showing up for ourselves. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. So it's kind of the big picture, how we really show up for ourselves, finding the ways, one, that feed you, finding things that really feed you. So as you find ways that feed you, right? Like I've talked about, dancing really feeds me. It's beautiful. And yet I got out of the habit of it probably 3 months ago, maybe. Summer hit, I'm out of the habit. I probably haven't danced since then, right? So how it's easy to fall out of the habits that nurture us. And it's so important to catch yourself and bring yourself back in. Like, what am I doing to feed myself? What am I doing to support myself? So I want you to brainstorm for a few minutes. Think about things that maybe take a little bit of time, like 10 minutes, like for me, I've talked about just dancing one song, or there's going on a hike, like yesterday we spent the whole day going on a hike, so it's like, what are some of the things that feed you? And if you can have a few things that are short, like, oh, I could do that in a minute, just maybe pausing and going into gratitude. Maybe, I could do that for a minute. Daily practice, breath, meditation, gratitude. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. It's helpful, I find, if I have a list, so that even if I only have 2 minutes, oh, it's easy to go into gratitude for 2 minutes, right? I could go into gratitude, and then it shifts our energy, right? Because it's so easy to the weight of life. You bump into something, things are going along great, and then all of a sudden something happens unexpectedly. That happens in life. And it's like, how do we still show up for ourselves? Maybe there's a big chaos going on at work that I've got to, and maybe I have to work overtime a little bit, or maybe have to really practice healthy boundaries. It's like, how do we show up? Yeah, be still, tune into self, tune out the rest. Yeah, just taking a break and saying, okay, here, this is my time. This is the time for me, and I'm not letting anything else in and taking away from that. So it's like, just want you guys to jot down at least 2, maybe 3 that are short ones, and then maybe 2 or 3 that are bigger things. Maybe it's like, oh, taking the day and going for a spa day, or hanging out with my friends for a few hours, or whatever it is. Come up with a couple of different categories. So it's like, okay, these are easy to do. Those are just like, yeah, I don't know about easy, because when we're in the midst of chaos, it's hard to remember to do them. But it's like, what are some of those things, some of the short things under 10 minutes? Let's say under 10 minutes, what are some things that you can do under 10 minutes? And then jot down at least 3, hopefully 5, but at least 3, and then give me a 1 in the chat when you've got those. Cool. Cool. Be still, tune into self, tune into there. Cool. Yes. Good. Beautiful. Cool. Yeah. That's awesome. So, right. So if you just ask, you can ask that question, Sue, and then just pause for a minute and open up to see. Yeah, that's a quick thing that you can do just to kind of recalibrate, rebalance. It's great. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. So now, once you have those 3, I want you to think of 3 that are longer things, like maybe 2 hours or left. 2-3 hours, something that takes a bit more time. You might have to schedule, time to go have a cup of coffee with a friend or something like that. That's maybe a couple of hours commitment. Or maybe it's an hour commitment, like you just call a friend on the phone, or call your mom or your dad or whatever, just connecting with somebody, or whatever else. It could be anything, going for a run, something that's a little bit bigger of a chunk. I want you guys to have like some chunks where you can take, you just have a list where it's like, oh, okay, I need to just do some self-care. I'm worthy of taking care of me. Finding those ways to take care of me. And then give me a 2 once you have a few of those, 2 or 3, or maybe more, where it's just a couple of hours. It could be walking in nature. It could be drawing. It could be dancing. It could be whatever it is. And you guys can write them in too, because sometimes that helps people. If you say, oh yeah, I'll do, this or that, maybe I'll go to the trampoline zone and jump for an hour. It'll inspire somebody else with some, or something silly, maybe I'll watch a comedy. Yeah, there you go. Relax and watch a movie. Yeah, watch a comedy, or go take an improv class. What are some of the things you can do, in a a bigger chunk, but not a huge chunk, that might really replenish you? And give me a 2 when you have several of those down. Awesome. Great. Yeah. Beautiful. I love that, Dana. Read my true choices. Lie down. Yeah. Relaxed. Stand in the sun. Yeah. Soak in some of that beautiful sun we're getting. Yeah, there you go. Take a breath class. I love that. That's one of my all-time favorites. Come take a breath class. Perfect. Yeah, a couple of hours of breathing. Boy, that's a reset button. Yeah. Yeah. Call a friend. Yeah. Walk in nature, stretch, dance. Love it. Love it. Love it. Bike ride. Cool. Get nails done. I love that. Hot yoga. Draw on charcoal. I love it. Running, with or without music. Right. Reading in the tub. Love it. Those are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now think of maybe even a bigger one. So maybe something that's a day long. There you go. So yeah. So then think of a day long or a weekend long thing that you could schedule ahead of time. Or if you find yourself with a free day, what is something that would nurture you that's maybe a little bit longer? It doesn't have to be a whole day, but it's a period that you might have to actually schedule in or sort out. Maybe going skydiving or paragliding or hiking in the mountains. Or one of our kids loves to once a year he schedules in a binge going to the movie theaters and just watches movies all day long. That'd be too much sitting for me, but for him, it's really feeds his soul. So it's like finding what are those things, that you want to schedule in. It's not like an everyday thing, but it's something that you could schedule in and look forward to. Maybe it's taking a breath weekend class. I'll promote that. Love it. So yeah, once you have a couple of those you might only have 1 or 2 of those. Spa day. Yes. Awesome. Yeah. Spa day with girlfriends. That's great. Hike. Take a workshop. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Not so much self-soothing as much as just like self-care in the sense of really feeds your soul. Yeah. Cool. So let's shift that a little bit, James. So come up with those 3 things that really feed you. Like what really feeds you? Is it, for those 10-minute things, maybe it is doing your choices. Maybe it's listening to a meditation. Maybe it's doing a Shavasana or a yoga nidra, or listening to 10 minutes to a YouTube, music station, or who knows, just letting yourself sit and listen to music. You just like come up with 10 things that feed you. I'm going to challenge you, James, since that sounds like it's hard, to actually come up with those, come up with things that are 10 minutes, things that are a few hours, and then things that might be a day or 2. Ooh, music. Love it. I love it. Awesome. Awesome. Camping. Yeah. Camping, girls' weekend, reading a fun book. Guilt-free. I love it. Read a fun book, guilt-free. Yes. Just for entertainment. That's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. No, when I get a fun book that's really engrossing, I just can't put it down. I just got to read until it's done. Which may take it. I'm not a quick reader, so it may take all day, all night long. I'll read. So I'll sleep tomorrow. But yeah, it's like finding those little things, medium things, and big things. And I want you guys to have those. So I want you to have a nice list where you can have that up, because it's so important to do. I want you to every day do at least one of those things on your 10-minute one. And perhaps at least one of the things on your few hour one once a week, so that you're finding the space in your life to show up for you. How can you show up for you?